Hi, Path students. My name is Iliana Elizondo. I am the Director for Interpreting Services at DHR Health. I've been in the interpreting field since 2011. I do have a history in education, but we'll talk about it as we go. Maybe I should start how my education started with. My first language is Spanish. I came to the United States and my English was very, very limited. I started my schooling at Texas A&M College Station. So that was a big, big struggle for me due to that. My first language was Spanish. My English was very limited. First semester I failed. Second semester I was in probation. I kept asking my parents, like, let me just go back home. And that wasn't a choice for me. So I did biomedical science. From there, I jumped to nursing, did all my nursing, became a nurse, and my father came with cancer. So I dedicated to his last 2 years of life for him. I was at home, I was his nurse 24/7. After his passing, I come back and I realized I couldn't do nursing anymore. So that's when I went back to school, and that's when I fell in love with American Sign Language. I did the course as in American Sign Language as an interpreter at STC here locally in McAllen. It was fun, totally different. It's an associate's that they have. I just did the course as I already had a bachelor's. It was fun interacting with the deaf community. So it's like any other language. I always say sign language is a lot like math. If you stop using it, you forget it. And the more you work with it or you're around it, you understand it best. So in 2011, I finished the program, and that's when I started involving myself in the deaf community. Then this position opened at the hospital. I never thought I would be back at the hospital, but it was just perfect because almost all my careers, all my education came combined in one, which was I had the nursing as a background and then the interpreting as in sign language. And I am a trilingual, so it's English, Spanish, and American Sign Language. And Texas has 4 trilingual interpreters. I am considered one of them. It was interesting on how everything just came together. I never planned to be where I am at now. I guess all the path that I went, life gets in the way too. So I think everything comes together. My first 2 careers, which was my biomedical science and nursing, my parents paid for that. And then when I came to interpreting, I paid for that. And I continued school. I didn't stop there. I did another bachelor's on healthcare administration. Last year, I finished my master's in business administration, and this May, I'll be done with my second master's in science and finance. So I guess I like school. Okay, in my position, I don't have a normal day. As today, it's been a crazy, crazy day. You can tell my hair, my face, everything. I've been in the hospital since 3 in the morning. I got called for an emergency accident, and this patient was deaf. So I had to rush myself to the hospital to be the patient's voice, and I could sign for him what the doctors were telling him. Luckily, the patient's good. He's stable. So at this point, I called another interpreter to come and relieve me so I could continue with my normal day as is. But I am scheduled Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. In that day, it's never normal. Like I said, I can be out interpreting. I have meetings. I have appointments. So it's very, very, it's always a challenge. It's always a different day, which I love. I don't like routine, so this is the perfect position for me. But a lot of people don't like that. So if you have a job very demanding as this one, you have to adapt to the times, to your phone. It's always with me in my hand, answering and all that stuff. The skills I think that you need for something like this, you have to be very humble. It is a very, very humble position. It is a humble work that you do. I think the way I connect with it is because my first language was Spanish. And being in College Station in a classroom with over 200 students and everybody was speaking English and the professor was going 100 miles an hour, I was lost, completely lost. Students would talk to me and I would be like, no, and I would just walk away. So that's how I connect, how I can know the feeling of a deaf person, that everybody's talking and they're like, okay, what's going on? They're taking off my clothes, they're injecting me, they're giving me this, and they don't know what's going on. So that's very, very scary. I always give the example, let's say you're out in Japan, having the time of your life, and for whatever reason you end up in a hospital and nobody speaks your language. How are you gonna feel? So you have to be very, very humble about it. Also, if you're bilingual, embrace that. Don't lose your other language. Make sure you continue with both languages because you just never know. We do live in an area where almost everybody's bilingual, but once you go up north, trust me, you're valuable and you are considered like two people in one. So, a fun fact. I guess a fun fact in my career is especially signing, and if I'm around other people that know signing, I can be on the other end of the room and we can be chit-chatting. And it's incredible because as soon as one person realizes, we have everyone's eyes on us like, okay, what are you saying? And so we're laughing and doing all this stuff and people's like, okay, we want to know what you're talking. I was like, no, you can't unless you know sign language. And that's about it. Embrace your soft skills, empathize with other people. Always, it's good to always help. If you can help, just help out. I always think of, I see it in stores where people don't know the language and they're struggling and they just want to do a simple payment. I always go up and help. So please, that'll be good. Helping others, it's awesome because you never know when you're gonna need that help. And it has happened where I'm out and they're like, oh my gosh, you were here, you helped my mom interpret for her and this and that. And I honestly wouldn't remember. I see a lot of people, but it feels good. It feels good. And I mean, I'm here in the hospital. If you ever need anything or you want to reach out to see if you want to take this path and as a career, feel free. My work phone, it's 956-362-7258. Or my email, it's i.elizondo@dhr-rgv.com. Thank you guys. Be safe.